Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Davon Lewis Show, where we keep everything all nitty gritty, everything so saucy in the land of professional wrestling. Appreciate you guys coming in through for a live edition for AEW Revolution that took place for March 9th, 2025 in Los Angeles, California at the Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Center. More importantly, let's go ahead and dive into everything that took place for the following show for AEW Revolution. We had a stacked card from top to bottom, all the way down to the 0 hour, to a controversy, dramatic ending when it came to everything that took place for the main event. But let's go ahead and dive in. More importantly, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to keep the algorithm rolling for this video as we got a live edition review. And more importantly, if you want to keep the algorithm running smoothly, drop that comment down below and let's go ahead and dive in it. More importantly, appreciate you guys, and let's go ahead and get into it. We kicked everything off when it came to the 0 hour with the first match that took place in the card throughout the course of the show. We had Hologram and Komander in tag team action against Lee Johnson and Blake Christian in tag team action. It was all over the place, great transition moves, and I enjoyed how everything ran smoothly when it came to the tag team action. Of course, Hologram was able to secure the victory after a solid 450 splash on Blake Christian to secure the victory. But in overall, the match was okay until we had a few botches when it came to Hologram. Hopefully, Tony Khan have a talk or direct shoot directly at him, let him know how you get it together, kind of change it up, and I'll be doing some kind of offensive moves that may look kind of sloppy or blotch when it comes to the AEW program. He's been doing a lot more lately when it comes to his overall stance of how he works. But from my own personal opinion, I'm not feeling it when it comes to Hologram. Hopefully, he steps it up and become a better version of himself and not take too many high-risk moves when it's not necessary. Then we get to the director of the movie, the Queen of the Ring, Ash Avison, who's interviewed by Renee Paquette. The interview was calm, cool, and collected. He basically promoted the movie and talked about the match when it came to Mariah May and Tony Storm. And, of course, that match was glamorous with a nice little ending at the end. Then we got to Daniel Garcia and Undisputed Kingdom's members of Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. They defeated the likes of Shane Taylor Promotions, which was no other than Carlie Bravo, Shawn Dean. More importantly, it was Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor. The win came off after Daniel Garcia was able to secure the victory with the Lion Chamber submission sharpshooter and was able to submit Lee Moriarty after a back-and-forth match with all these four competitors. It was a smash-mouth 8-man tag. There was a lot of back and forth, but more importantly, the momentum was running smoothly as Shane Taylor Promotions kind of controlled the peak of how things were rolling smoothly when it came to the overall presentations of the match. But in overall, it was solid for what it was. Then we got to the next match that was supposed to take place. It was supposed to be the learning tree of Chris Jericho versus Gravity, but the match never took place as it was ruled no contest after the learning tree ended up attacking Gravity as the Ring of Honor World Champion took the fight to him, and then we brought out Bandito. The crowd was red hot for Bandito. Thank God he didn't get any concussions or do any botches through the course of this in-ring jump on the heels. But in overall, it was okay for what it was when everything took place. But it was a solid just for how everything was running smoothly. But of course, the big cherry on top was when Chris Jericho was able to remove Gravity's mask in front of Bandito to cause more to insult when it comes to the California Lucha Libre style. They were booing the shit out of Chris Jericho. He got the heat that he actually wanted to keep things running smoothly. But in overall, it was a nice little segment. I felt like it dragged out just a little bit too long when it came to the segment where Jericho was just sitting around for a little bit, seeing when it came Big Bill before they finally left the ring. Then we get to the big match, which pretty much got the crowd actually hyped and propped. It was Big Boom AJ and a Conglomeration, the members of Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, along with the Rizzler and Big Justice. The big prop was the Rizzler, who came out as Orange Cassidy, and the crowd went ape when it came to everything. Basically, the crowd gave a nice little reaction when it came to the overall presentation of how everything was running smoothly. I enjoyed the take of it. Big AJ really was over when it came to his entrance and also his arsenal of movesets. They got the crowd involved. The cherry on top is that they were able to defeat Johnny TV and MXM collection, which is Mason, Matson, and Mansoor, who is with Taya Valkyrie, who has been finally looking a whole lot better after dropping a whole lot more weight and looking a little bit more better when it comes to her overall presentation of who she is as a character. But I feel like she's still lost in the shuffle when it comes to AEW. But Big Justice was able to get that lovely power bomb after a triple style power bomb on the big man Mason with the Komander bomb to secure the victory for the 1, 2, 3 and keep everything smoothing from there. But where things took a big twist was the heels were trying to get the jump directly on the faces. And where Mason was trying to get a hold of the Rizzler, but that instructed all of them to pretty much put the big attack on him on pretty much from there and send the crowd happy. I didn't know who the two celebrities were. I didn't really were able to actually check who did the double choke slam to Mansoor and send the crowd pretty much enjoying themselves and pretty much was enjoying the flow of how everything was transitioning and running smoothly. But now let's get into the live coverage of everything that took place, which was the main card. The commentary on team for the show when it came to the Crypto.com arena, they had Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Taz, who actually was there when it came to the transition of the opening show. And then we got things right underway into the big match, which was Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. What more can you say about that match? It was phenomenal. It was solid. It was all great transitions, great false finishes all the way through to the end when Hangman was able to secure the victory with the Buckshot Lariat and pretty much send the crowd happy. But the cherry on top is I enjoyed how MJF trolled everybody when they thought he was going back to the old school Hangman Adam Page entrance, and then he was cut off with MJF's entrance all the way through. He knew how to get to the LA crowd. He's always been a great Kamali when it comes to the AEW crowd in Los Angeles. They really love MJF, and they were chanting all the way through. Both guys were the faces that night, and Revolution. But it was solid for what it was. Most likely this feud hopefully is a bit done and buried. MJF was down for a good little minute. Hopefully he's not actually injured, but he was selling an injury of his neck all the way through for a good little minute. Even when they transitioned into the next following match, he was still laying down until Stab was like, yo, you need to get out the ring. I don't know if he was hard trolling or more than anything, just taking it easy for the most part. Then we get to the TBS Championship. Mercedes, 4 belts. Mercedes Moné, gotta love her, the CEO. Kind of kept everything all cool, calm, cool, and collective as she went against no other than Momo Watanabe. This match was kind of slow off the gates, but it was calm, cool, and collective when it came to everything that took place. It started to get a little bit more strong style as they ladies started to fill each other out with the chemistry. And it was great for what it was, as Mercedes was able to get the victory with the lovely bank statement and was able to secure the victory with a submission on Momo. But overall, the ladies did a great job, but this probably was one of Mercedes' more slower matches that she had pretty much had to transition to. But it wasn't one of the top caliber matches that she had been a part of, but it was okay for what it was when it came to the overall presentation of her match, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Then we got to the next match, the AEW #1 contender match, which was Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana versus no other than Ricochet. Everything in this match had so many intentions when it came to the eyes of everybody who was involved and enjoying the course of how things were running smoothly. But in overall, with the full solid presentation, it delivered when it came to Swerve and when it came to Ricochet. The boys put on a clinic. And what more you got out of it? Everything. They were all over the place. The motion was involved. Even you kind of felt the tensions between Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana going back and forth. Even Nana even led up the ramp, and he was getting a whole lot of heat for leaving the match, but we knew he was coming back. Of course, it was comedy relief all the way down to the serious moments of the match. But more importantly, Swerve Strickland was able to get the victory after a lovely JML driver. It was a lot of back and forth. I enjoyed it down to the key, down to the end, down to the wire. The cherry on top was Ricochet inverted and changed the robe a little bit with his logo on the back of it. And it was a nice little touch to get that heat with the Los Angeles crowd. But more importantly, I enjoyed how everything ran smoothly when it came to Ricochet. But overall, Swerve's now officially the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. And I knew exactly that he was going to be waiting in line and seeing what was going to happen with the main event, along with Jay White and a few other talent who were kind of looking, in the wind of seeing how everything was going to be transitioning through the course of the night for the main event, which was Jon Moxley versus the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. I know it's people are kind of like, what's going on with the short name? Some people love it. Some people will just refer to him just be Adam Copeland. But I don't understand. He's trying to make a trending name similar to when he was WWE, when he came to him being the Rated R superstar Edge. But Cope's okay for what it is for right now. He just shortened up his name a little bit. Or it could have been Adam Copeland too, which people are already familiar with who his legendary name is, and continue to keep us highly invested. Then we get to the home crowd king, Brody King. He's up for the AEW Continental Championship as he took on Takeshita Okada in a big banger match. It started off slow as both fellas were trying to fill each other out, but Brody King was putting on a meat cleaver chop fest, similar to, if you're familiar with Gunther or Walter from WWE. He was chopping Okada from one end of the ring to the other end. And pretty much you could see the blisters, the handprint. When it came to Brody King, he was the hometown king. When it came to the crowd, really was enjoying him and supporting him all the way through. But I knew exactly what was going to happen. Okada was going to come off with the victory. The entrance was phenomenal from both the competitors. The transitions back and forth kept me highly invested. I enjoyed the offenses from both of them. More importantly, getting the crowd invested into the match. Okada's always great about that, even if it's nice to start a little bit slower. But he still know how to keep you not only watching, keeping your eyes glued, keep you invested into every single detail thing that he does, from pretty much getting ready to do his signature, to put up the middle finger, or pretty much getting the crowd riled up and pretty much have them booing. But overall, his current run with the title has been okay mid, but it could be better based on the booking. Then we get to the AEW World Tag Team Championship. One of my homies who were actually there after the show, Jeffrey, he was sure if the Hurt Syndicate was in the building, and I had to remind him, like, yeah, they're in the house tonight. They were for tag team title gold, and he's like, oh, he didn't even remember that they had to go against no other than the Outrunners, which was Truth Magnum and of course Turbo Floyd. But in overall, the match was solid for what it was. A lot of back and forth, great transitions. Of course, the Hurt Syndicate put the beat down when it came to everything that took place, and they handled business the best way they possibly can. Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum wasn't somebody that you want to sleep on, but more importantly, you knew what you were getting for when it came to the tag team action from not only all four of these competitors, but they've stepped up in the best hired regards. But I'd like to see a little who are going to step up now in the tag team division. The Hurt Syndicate is running through everybody right now. There's nobody that pretty much is a little bit more of looking like a serious contender other than the Bucks. The Bucks were actually in the house tonight enjoying the show. A lot of people actually saw them as well towards the entrance, watching a couple of matches. But the cherry on top is, where will they fit in? Are they going to come back for tag team gold as they take their hiatus from being in AEW? Will they be going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling? But more importantly, what is going to be going on with the Hurt Syndicate Are they going to be going for more gold as we getting ready for Cedric Alexander, who should be there less than 70 days out and will be in AEW to be reunited with the Hurt Syndicate, which I look forward to seeing all four of them prime and ready and being true four black man running shot when it comes to AEW. Then we get to the AEW Women's Championship, a Hollywood ending that you really, truly was not going to miss. This was a truly everything that you could have asked for. A Falls Count Anywhere match, everything that was a great transition. More importantly, you got what you wanted when it came to this match. From props to champagne bottles to the shoe returning to glass, these ladies really invested in their craft and they wanted this to be the finale when it came to this match. The table spots, even going off the actual entranceway into the tables below, the whole 9 yards being bloodied and battered and bruised. It was a great collection of a showcase when it came down to Mariah May and Toni Storm. I knew Toni Storm was going to retain the championship because it was in a Hollywood setting. More importantly, it kept us, Holly, invested. I enjoyed the full overall presentation. I was fully excited. More importantly, it was great to see that match down to the wire as Toni Storm was able to hit a Storm Zero off onto the tables and was able to secure the victory at the entranceway. And I loved how they did the whole decals and everything on the Titantrons to say the Hollywood ending. And it was brutal. It was a lot of back and forth, and that was one of my greatest matches I've seen this year in 2025. For a long time with the women's division, the women really stepped up. Big props when it comes to Toni Storm and Mariah May. They held their own. They were collective. They were respectful. They did everything, and they were dirty with it too. But the ladies really did a great job, and big props to them. Then we get to the big one, the AEW International Championship, as we had Konosuke Takeshita, the champion, versus the returning Kenny Omega. Of course, this was a lot of tensions on the line when it came to everything that took place. A lot of back and forth. I enjoyed the overall presentation of this match. A lot of cliffhangers, a lot of great moves. Even the spot with the table was something that really got the crowd really hot, or they either was into it or not into it. But in overall, it was good. I'll give it an A+ when it comes to the overall presentation, the chemistry, the crowd really voicing their opinion. Kenny Omega even trolling a little bit as well through the course of the match. But in overall, he was able to get the victory after a lovely pinfall mousetrap to secure the victory. Surprising not only Don Callis, who was trying to be involved in the match, but in overall, Takeshita, who thought it was a 2, but he got rolled up for the 1, 2, 3 through the course of the match. If you guys are coming through, feel free to smash the like button to get the algorithm up and share the content too if you're a great supporter of this channel on all my social platforms, including Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing for tuning in for this live edition for AEW Revolution 2025. Then we get to the steel cage match, the big one between these two bitter rivals and former best friends. We have no other than Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, who was along with Don Callis and Mark Davis, who came out later on in the match. But what you got out of this match was amazing work from Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. The Ospreay really had the crowd behind him. They both did a gladiator style at the top of the cage. And pretty much it was heat and it was a storytelling all the way down to the ending. It was brutal. It was bloody. But more importantly, we got a match when it came to Will Ospreay and when it came down to Kyle Fletcher. The boys put on a clinic and they left nothing unturned through the course of everything that took place. Even Mark Davis is injecting himself. A lot of people were confused on his booking. Same with myself, where he originally was going against the Don Callis family. Then I guess they must be holding something against him, and he decided to join them. and he's doing basically everything he possibly can to interject himself and was trying to make sure that Kyle Fletcher left as the champion. But of course, Will Ospreay being amazing for he was able to handle all the onslaught, secure the victory, but the big cherry on top when he went for something that we didn't thought he went for one of those nice inverted moves directly from the top of the steel cage that I never thought we will see in a long time. A Spanish fly off the steel cage. I mean, the way how everything was running smoothly with that crowd all stand up. I was there live at the Crypto.com arena. I'm here at the hotel hanging out, enjoying and maybe go through and hang out with a couple of fellows for breakfast and then head home to Las Vegas to get ready for Collision this following Saturday, which I'll be live in attendance as well. But in overall, it was a great match from both of them. Will Ospreay was able to get the victory. More importantly, Kyle Fletcher held his own, and he really put on a clinic. They both was being sadistic when it came to everything they pretty much put on, all the way down to licking each other's blood. The screwdriver was brought back into the play of things, barbed wire bats. It was a true clinic when it came to everything that took place. But Will Ospreay was able to get the victory with the Tiger Driver 91 and secure his place by victory, and probably most likely looking to get a title match in the near future against Okada, which I think that will be a good one between Okada and Ospreay once again. Then, of course, we get to Tony Schiavone, who interviews Kelly Bolgladi, Demarius Lewis, and Ash Avison to promote the movie Queen of the Ring in selected movie theaters. More importantly, I highly recommend for you guys to actually see the movie. I was able to check it out. It's a great movie so far with a great overall translation. If you're a great person who enjoyed the history of women's wrestling, highly recommend for you guys to check out the Queen of the Ring and check that out and see how you may enjoy the history when it comes to different type of people that have been involved through the course of our history. I think you guys will enjoy it. Similar to other movies that have been put out by this director did a great job. And big props when it comes to Kelly Bolgladi, who pretty much did a great job. And Demarius, too. Demarius Lewis has always been credited for doing great work, too. Then we get to the AEW World Championship. Was scheduled to be Jon Moxley versus Cope. And, of course, there was a whole lot of back and forth when it came to everything that took place. But where the cherry on top was, Christian Cage attacked Cope before he cashed in a title opportunity, and it's set up for a triple threat match. The crowd was propping for Christian. I mean, he was getting the most hype. When he came out, the crowd was to a standing ovation. They thought Christian was going to cash in after he took out Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley did everything he possibly could to retain his championship, and he did so in quick fashion. Of course, we had Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook watching on to see what was going on. Of course, interjecting himself as being the ops and watching from the outside. But in overall, the main event was really, really good. What more could you got from the AEW Triple Threat match was everything, emotions, chemistry. People thought it was going to be a storytell ending for Christian to win. Chris Cope was going to win, but when we saw the Triple Threat, but when it came down to the ending, my honest opinion, it was dog shit. I was not thrilled when it came to the overall presentation of how everything took place when it came to how the ending happened. It wasn't good. But Moxley was able to secure the victory by hitting the submission bulldog chokehold on Christian Cage to secure the victory, and the crowd was booing all the way through. Moxley was able to escape with the briefcase, head up the ramp to continue this situation when it comes to the storyline with Jon Moxley. Should have been Christian Cage, from my own personal opinion, who should have had left as the AEW World Champion. But for them to drop the ball on that storyline, I was able to talk to Tony Khan and ask him, like, personally, what was going on with the situation. I wasn't feeling it. He told me just storytelling and kind of just hang tight because he's got some surprises coming up his sleeve leading up towards All In. But it was the perfect night for Christian to be the champion. But in the overall, he was happy with his decision that he made when it came to the overall presentation of the match. In my opinion, it wasn't the right call, even from people that I was talking to, hanging out. But of course, after everything took place, Prince Nana confronted John Moxley as he was in a audience arena, getting ready to head out. And then Swerve was hanging out over by the guardrail, a little bit higher up, and he made the dive directly at Moxley. And of course, sending the crowd excited and tooting and booting and happy as he's officially no more contender. So it looks like Swerve is going to be the one to take the title off of Moxley to end this terrible reign, because Moxley have been booked poorly. 100% I think John Moxley has been booked poorly through the course of how everything has been happening in a transition. He's deserved better. He's been the cherry on top for the company and for the fans to not be excited when it came to this current reign. This probably one of the worst reigns he actually currently has. After being there for the company, even when he's supposed to have time off and doing his own thing with his family. But this reign wasn't good at all. I understand they were trying to interject the storyline involving Shane Man, but of course Shane Man dropped the ball when he was trying to do too much and got ghosted by Tony Khan. But it should have been better just from that prospect of John Moxley. He's been an A1 guy when it comes to always stepping up, even when he don't need to, even when he doesn't have personal time off. But this time around, it just was not good from John Moxley. But when it comes to Copeland, he held his own. He probably has one of the top songs that probably will be in the heads of everybody from a lifetime of presentation. They sing it for a good little minute all the way through, nonstop, word for word. And Cope really got emotional through the course of it. Christian should have had it in the bag, from my own personal opinion. But I'd like to know from you guys' point of view, how are you feeling about the whole overall presentation of the show? What was your favorite match? And how are you feeling about everything that took place when it came to AEW just in general? Are you feeling the way how things have been structured with the storylines? And what would you like to see better when it comes to AEW as a whole? Would you like to see the talent, certain talent return? Do you like to see talent who want to leave for WWE because they're not getting an opportunity? Because WWE, only so much space WWE has as well. I'm kind of glad AEW is actually here because it helps out talent not only feed their families, but get some kind of showcase if it's needed or necessary. Everybody's not going to be the top player when it comes to AEW, but in overall, it's great to see the talent that can thrive and get over, and then the talent who can't. Hey, if Tony wants to give you a solid paycheck, take it with a grain of salt. Go do some indie shows, because the indies is the land of opportunity to not only develop yourself, but try to get approval from the public relations and make sure they have your best interests in your heart when it comes to everything that you would like to do when it comes to the company and thrive. Now, everybody needs to go to WWE because everybody's not going to make it in WWE. Some talent will. WWE is always going to do that for talent, just in general, not being a mark, not being when it comes to situation. They always do great for talent when they first come in, but it depends on if they have it, then they will be in a shuffle for a good little bit of time. But WWE's got too many talent as well when it comes to situation. Is it becoming a reverse factor? When Tony Khan first started off, when Vince McMahon was letting everybody go and Tony bought everybody in that was stacking up the roster from pillar to post, and he was just buying up anybody and everybody. We're talking to the Bucks and just getting a whole bunch of indie talent that really did not need to be there. But in the overall, hopefully, AEW changes it up. I know Tony's looking to lighten the load when it comes to all the talent he has currently, not only in AEW, and Ring of Honor as well. He has a lot of talent. I know some people got their choices they would like to see. Maybe the best solution will be to have a roster split. Maybe that will help a little bit to alleviate all the drama that has been going on backstage. more importantly, all the drama and issues that people have been feeling emotionally. If talent want to get a shot, maybe he can break it up. Some of the big stars keep Dynamite as one of the number one shows. Collisions has been falling off. Maybe have Copeland on that side of the fence, and then kind of just split it off when it comes to the championships. I think that would be a great idea. Some kind of solution to get them back and being invested. But I don't think AEW is going to die. AEW is going to be around for a long time, like any other company that has thrived or made it, even without a television deal. Hey, look what's going on when it comes to NWA. They are still thriving. Impact Wrestling is doing the same thing in other companies as well. But more importantly, if you're on any of my platforms enjoying the show, best way to help out the show, smash that like button. More importantly, comment as well if you have the possibility, or if you have somebody who may be interested or invested in professional wrestling and like a non-biased person who can not going to sugarcoat it, keep it honest, keep it calm, cool, and collective. And more importantly, for you sitting here through the course of this whole entire show, I appreciate you guys. Much gratitude. And you guys are the true real ones who are actually showing in and showing up for this actual show. Until the next episode, you guys be safe. Have a great Monday and a great week. Hopefully, you guys have a prosperous week with everything that you decide to do with everything this week. If you're catching up on Monday Night Raw for later on tonight, I will have a review for you guys for that and all the latest news that have been going on, including injury reports and everything that has been taking place and shaping when it comes to not only AEW, WWE, NXT, and TNA, and other promotions if it's necessary, if it's great content. But until the next episode, you guys are amazing. You guys be safe. Have a great week. Have a prosperous week. Make as much money as you possibly can. And stay stress-free. Until the next episode, you guys be blessed. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.